Okay, how is it that somebody just uploaded a video and yet YouTube is clearly down? Is that meant to make sense? Because I'm over here trying to upload, well, yeah, trying to upload, trying to even get to YouTube, period. And I've tried 2 different iDevices, and it keeps telling me that, yum, warm and toasty coffee cake. I have tried 2 different iDevices trying to hook up to YouTube, whether to watch or to upload or whatever, and for the life of it, it won't upload, or it won't not upload. It will not load. I keep getting error loading. This one says error loading, tap to retry. This one, I was watching stuff previously, and it had videos up on the screen, but then I try either replaying it or tapping on something else or whatever, and it says error loading video. And both of these are connected to the Starbucks Wi-Fi. I don't know. I might just wait till I get home and try it there, but at the same time, I get a notification that one of my subscribees just uploaded a video. That particular video doesn't interest me all that much, so I'm not going to try to watch it, but although I might watch it one of these days. That's more interesting than some of the other ones that they've called up or that they've put up, although I still question. Basically, it's a channel that puts up app suggestions, and I like it. It's just that my question with any and every app is, does it work with VoiceOver? Because if it doesn't, it's a pointless effort, because I can't use an app that doesn't work with VoiceOver, obviously. Or maybe it's not so obvious. If this is the first video you're watching, you might not know this, but I am totally blind, meaning I can't see the screen. But VoiceOver has... I'll tell you, when I first heard about an iPhone, and then it was a touch screen, my first thought was, I'll never get one of those because I'm not going to be able to use it. Now I've got an iPhone. Well, a couple of iPhones. I'm using this one primarily as a YouTube camera because the sound is so much better than an iPod. But my first thinking was, I'll never be able to use an iPhone because it's a touchscreen. A blind person can't use a touchscreen. Well, with VoiceOver off, that's true. But if you go into Settings, General Accessibility, VoiceOver, and turn that feature on, it completely revolutionizes its level of usability by the blind. Of course, it also makes your phone possessed if you're not blind and you don't know how to use VoiceOver, because it changes the way your iPhone behaves. Just today, I had to turn VoiceOver off, and the Starbucks person was trying to help me with the phone, and I said, okay, let me take that back and turn the VoiceOver off, because it is not going to behave. Then I turned VoiceOver off, and I was like, okay, now try it. Now it'll act like every other iPhone you've ever worked with. But just because there's an app in the App Store doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work with VoiceOver. Some are really accessible, others are not. That's why I'm scared to you know, just because there's a new version of the app in the App Store doesn't necessarily mean I want it, because it could... Sometimes with the updates, they break accessibility. In other words, they completely render it useless for a person who needs to use VoiceOver with it. And so I don't necessarily want to upgrade the app just because there is an upgrade available. Unless it's an app like the one that we use at work, that's driving me nuts. We have a communications app that we use at work, and it's a good thing I don't need to get a whole lot of the communications. It's a good thing that most of the communications don't apply to me, because ever since, first of all, that app wasn't extremely VoiceOver friendly to begin with, but there were at least a couple of things that I could do. Now I can't even do those things, because ever since a few updates ago, it's even less accessible than it was before. So as soon as I find out there's an update of that particular app, I will jump on it, because I'm hoping that the VoiceOver problems will be resolved. Unfortunately, as of now, it hasn't been changed. It hasn't been resolved. Unless they came out with one just here in the past couple days that have fixed the problems. But the point is, just because there's an app out there doesn't necessarily mean it's VoiceOver accessible. So when these guys upload a video, my question becomes, okay, does this work with VoiceOver? But they did tell me about some really cool apps. I need to watch that video again and try those. Try some more of those. I haven't finished trying all the ones that they try. Some of them might be VoiceOver accessible, some of them might not, but they sound good. But especially when it's these game apps, it's like, okay, it's a video game. It's probably not going to work with VoiceOver, is it? That's kind of the way I think about video games, although that might not be true. Part of it is I just have not been interested in games. I'm sure there are some VoiceOver accessible games out there. But I haven't been interested in them. I got into this tangent about apps that were and were not VoiceOver friendly and VoiceOver and blah blah blah, as a result of saying these guys just uploaded a video, and the point of saying that was, how are these guys able to upload a video, but then whatever I try to do with YouTube is just not doable, because it tells me error. The app just won't open. Is YouTube down? And if YouTube is down, then how were these guys able to upload? That doesn't make sense to me. But I can keep trying, or I might just give up on this and go home and do it there. By the time I get home, maybe whatever the problem is will be resolved. Anyway, talk to y'all later. Bye.